Welcome to Roadmaster's Commercial Driver's License Permit Prep Program. The content in this video series has been developed to help you obtain a permit to begin your CDL training. To receive a permit, you have to pass 3 separate tests: general knowledge, air brakes, combination vehicles. In addition to knowledge-based tests, you will be required to complete skills-based testing. This will include pre-trip inspection, basic vehicle controls, and a CDL driving test. This training is broken down into multiple sections that you can review as many times as you would like. Each section covers basic material that you will be tested on in order to receive your permit. The sections are CDL Introduction, General Knowledge Part 1, General Knowledge Part 2, General Knowledge Part 3, Air Brakes, Combination Vehicles. We hope this training material provides you with a better understanding of what you need to know to receive a permit and begin training for your commercial driver's license. Throughout the training, we encourage you to take notes so you can reference and better retain the information. Let's begin. If you plan to drive a commercial motor vehicle, you must first receive a commercial driver's license, or CDL. The only people that are exempt from obtaining a CDL are farmers remaining within a 150-mile radius, firefighters and emergency vehicle operators, military vehicle operators, recreational vehicle operators, and airports drivers in Texas only. Commercial driver's licenses are broken down into 3 different classes. Class A is a vehicle that pulls a trailer or trailers. Officially, Class A is defined as any single vehicle with a gross vehicle weight rating of 26,001 pounds or more. The second class is Class B, which is defined as a combination vehicle with a gross combination weight rating of 26,001 or more pounds, provided the gross vehicle weight rating of the vehicle being towed is in excess of 10,000 pounds. The last of the different classes is Class C, which is any vehicle with a gross vehicle weight rating less than 26,001 pounds and is designed to transport 16 or more passengers or transport hazardous materials that need to be placarded. School buses would fall under the Class C category. A CDL holder can also add endorsements to their CDL license. The following is a list of the different endorsements and what they mean. H is for placarded or marked vehicles transporting hazardous materials or wastes. An N endorsement is for tank vehicles, which includes a cement truck. The S and P endorsements often go hand in hand, since an S endorsement is for school buses and a P endorsement is for passenger transport. If you plan to drive a double or triples combination vehicle, you will need a T endorsement. Finally, an X endorsement is for tank vehicles transporting hazardous materials or wastes. To obtain any of these endorsements, you must pass the additional knowledge test. If you want to receive a hazmat endorsement, you will be required to submit your fingerprints and be subject to a background check that may take as long as 180 days to get back. There are some issues that will result in a denial or loss of endorsement. You will be denied or lose your endorsement if you are not a permanent resident of the United States, renounce your United States citizenship, are wanted or under indictment for certain felonies, have a conviction in military or civilian court for certain felonies, have been adjudicated as a mental defective or committed to a mental institution, are considered to pose a security threat by the TSA. A common question asked is, can I haul hazmat without a hazmat endorsement? The answer is yes, if it's not a placarded load. All commercial drivers of vehicles in interstate commerce with a maximum gross vehicle weight rating of more than 10,000 pounds are required to obtain and maintain a valid medical examiner's certificate. If you are required to maintain a certified status and do not do so, you will lose your CDL. CDL drivers can drive either interstate or intrastate, and there are different requirements for each. You must be 21 years old to drive interstate, which means traveling from one state to another or a foreign country. Intrastate drivers can be 18 years old, but they are restricted to driving within one state with no crossing of state lines. If you are required to maintain a valid medical examiner's certificate, you must self-certify in one of the 4 operation categories. Interstate non-accepted. Interstate non-accepted drivers must meet the federal DOT medical card requirements. Interstate accepted. Interstate accepted drivers do not have to meet the federal DOT medical card requirements. Intrastate non-accepted. Intrastate non-accepted drivers are required to meet the medical requirements for your state. Intrastate accepted. Intrastate accepted drivers do not have to meet the medical requirements for your state. Accepted means not required to have a certified medical status. In addition to staying medically certified, there are some serious traffic violations that can affect your CDL. These serious traffic violations include reckless driving, speeding 15 miles per hour or more above the posted speed limit, improper or erratic lane changes, following too closely, any moving violation relating to a fatal crash, driving a CMV without obtaining a CDL, driving a CMV without CDL in possession, driving a CMV without proper class of CDL or endorsement or restrictions. The range of consequences varies. Your first serious violation does not result in a disqualification. However, the second one within 3 years will lead to a 60-day disqualification, and the third in 3 years will cause a 120-day disqualification. Keep in mind, anything you do in a non-CMV will affect your CDL, and disqualifications due to serious violations must be served consecutively. There are also consequences if you violate an out-of-state order. This happens when you move a commercial motor vehicle that has been placed out of service by the Department of Transportation. If you should receive a violation of an out-of-service order, you could lose your CDL for at least 90 days. You can lose your CDL for at least 1 year if you commit 2 violations of an out-of-service order in a 10-year period. And if you commit 3 in a 10-year period, you could lose your CDL for at least 3 years. You can also lose your CDL for at least 1 year for a first-time offense for any of the following reasons. Driving a CMV if your BAC is 0.04% or higher. Can't operate for 24 hours if any alcohol detected under 0.04. Driving CMV under the influence of alcohol or controlled substance. Refusing to undergo blood alcohol testing. Leaving the scene of an accident involving a CMV. Committing a felony involving the use of a CMV. Driving a CMV when the CDL is suspended or revoked. Causing a fatality through negligent operation of a CMV. You can lose your CDL for at least 3 years if the offense occurs carrying a CMV placarded for hazardous materials. You will lose your CDL for life for a second offense of any of the above reasons, or if you commit a felony involving controlled substances. Why work so hard to get your CDL if you are going to do something that will cause you to lose it? Violations of a railroad highway grade crossing, RRHGC, can also result in CDL disqualifications. Violations of an RRHGC include 1. Drivers who are not required to always stop if they fail to slow down and check that the tracks are clear of an approaching train. 2. Drivers who are not required to always stop but fail to stop before reaching the crossing if the tracks are not clear. 3. Drivers who are always required to stop but fail to stop before driving onto the crossing. 4. Drivers who fail to have sufficient space to drive completely through the crossing without stopping. 5. Drivers who fail to obey a traffic control device, lights and gates, or the directions of an enforcement official at the crossing. 6. Drivers who fail to negotiate a crossing because of insufficient undercarriage clearance, getting stuck on a hump or high-profile crossing. The first violation of an RRHGC results in a disqualification of not less than 60 days. The second violation within 3 years results in a disqualification of not less than 120 days. And the third and subsequent violations within 3 years results in a disqualification of not less than 1 year. As a CDL holder, you will agree to drug and alcohol testing at any time and cannot refuse a drug or alcohol test. Doing so would forfeit your license. This is called implied consent. There are a few additional rules that you must be aware of when you are a CDL holder. You cannot have more than one license. Having multiple CDLs is a serious offense, and you can potentially get a fine and jail time. Another rule is that you must notify your employer within 30 days of a conviction for any type of traffic violation, with the exception of a parking violation. You must also notify your employer within 2 business days if your license is suspended, revoked, or canceled, or if you are disqualified from driving. When you are applying for a job, you are required to provide 10 years of work history. And just like in a car, seat belts are mandatory.